And that is Alvin from Dr. Wealth. Recently, there's a top app in the US, and it's not Xiaohongshu, not because the TikTok refugee are rushing to it, and it's not Temu, the cheaper shopping app in the US compared to Amazon. And the surprise is another AI chatbot, but not ChatGPT. It's DeepSeek, which is based in China. And what's amazing is that this app or this chatbot is not even done by a tech company like Tencent or Alibaba or SenseTime for the matter of fact. It's actually developed by a hedge fund, okay? An investment fund house that developed this chatbot. Okay, so it came from a very unlikely place. And this is what the logo looks like. The algo, not the algo, the logo looks like a whale, and nothing special to that, but it is surprising to see that the China app in a chatbot format has become #1 spot. As opposed to ChatGPT, as you can see, is on the 3rd spot. Okay, so what's so special about this DeepSeek? And it brings us to the recent ranking in the AI universe, right? All the AI chatbots put hand in hand, put side by side together for comparison. And this is the chart that we can look at. And let's talk about the most advanced one, right? The most advanced one would be the ones that are on the top, right? Higher up vertically, right? On the top rather than the bottom. And you can see on the top, it's your DeepSeek R1, and on the top right hand side, which is your ChatGPT O1. Okay, these two are the top ranking one. And there lies the difference if we look at the horizontal axis, which is the price, right? So for DeepSeek R1, the price for the USD per million tokens is about $2, while the ChatGPT O1 version is at around $26. So that means that DeepSeek R1 can do almost the same quality output as with ChatGPT, but at 1/10 of the cost. Okay, so that is the revolutionary thing about it, is it didn't sacrifice performance, but it saved a lot of computing expenses when it comes to AI. As we know that for AI, a lot of the is very expensive because you need a lot of computing power, and that also means that you need a lot of Nvidia GPUs, graphics card, because that's the hardware that does the computing. And of course you take in a lot of electricity costs, blah 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 blah, right? So AI is a very expensive activity, even for chatbots. Okay, and therefore a lot of the big tech companies have been buying up this Nvidia GPU and build up the infrastructure to support all this AI development and AI functions. Okay, so with this DeepSeek coming in at a fraction of the cost, that means that the overall investment to deliver AI services has dropped significantly. Although it has not been the case in the West, because DeepSeek is a model that is not widely adopted at this point in time, but we can see some traction. The West is taking note of this, and you can see it became a #1 app download in the US already. So there may be some promising developments coming on in the next few months, right? And another thing that I want to mention is the O1, okay, the ChatGPT O1 is not available to everyone, and it costs about $200 per month, right? I'm based in Singapore, so the price is $200 a month just to access this O1, right, on an unlimited basis. Okay, that's way more than the $20 entry price for its paid plan. And on the other hand, DeepSeek R1 is free. Okay, just as long as you sign up an account, you can use R1 or you can use the less demanding version. And that may also mean that more people may flock to the more not say more powerful, the cheaper version, right? The free version, rather than pay $200 to access more or less the same capability in ChatGPT. So you can see the profound impact if this DeepSeek really get traction, right? So ChatGPT would then see a lower revenue, and they may also be spurred on to develop a model that is cheaper to run without sacrificing too much of the performance, right? So that is the beauty of what DeepSeek has done and achieved. And on the other hand, DeepSeek is also an open source model. It's not like ChatGPT is a closed model, right? And Microsoft need to invest heavily into OpenAI in order for it to incorporate some of the ChatGPT model into its own Microsoft Office programs or even on its cloud. So this DeepSeek, anybody can use it, right? There's no licensing that's required. And it is also possible that some of the big tech cloud giants like Amazon, Microsoft, and Alphabet may eventually also make this DeepSeek model available on their platform, right? So which means you can use DeepSeek model to run your AI application or do some development work on it. So then again, if they adopt that, that means that the power requirement, the Nvidia GPU requirements or demand will not be as high as what was projected before, right? So we all know that Nvidia has been in a very good position, right? Having been the most important AI hardware company, even AMD GPU is not as good as Nvidia, and most of the AI companies or companies who are involved in building up the AI infrastructure would buy Nvidia chips over the other providers. And Nvidia has also become the most valuable company in the world by market cap, and it has unseated Apple for a couple of weeks already, and that's also because it has a very phenomenal rise in the share price, 11 times, right, 11x over the less than 3 years. So it is now at the top, which also mean that it's kind of vulnerable if DeepSeek have managed to bring down computing costs and demand for Nvidia GPUs. Okay, so this is a major concern and a major threat to GPUs dominance by Nvidia. Okay, it's not like their business will totally disappear. It's just that the demand for these Nvidia chips may fall. Right? Let me give you another picture, a clearer picture. So this is the capital expenditure of the big four, right? Microsoft, Meta Platforms, Amazon, and Alphabet, who are involved in the AI business. Okay, and you can see there's a very steep it's a very steep uptrend of its capex since Q3 2023. Okay, as opposed to the previous growth trend. You can see there's a very steep staircase pattern that's going up. And this is no doubt because of the investment in AI, buying up Nvidia chips, etc., etc. So if let's say all these giants adopt a cheaper model to run, and that means that the growth rate for their capex will not be needed to go up as high as what has happened in the past few quarters, right? So and it's likely that Nvidia is going to take a hit because then they'll buy less, right? It's not that they'll stop buying; they'll still buy Nvidia chip because it's still the number one, but the requirement is no longer as demanding as what it is before. So there lies the issue where I think that in this DeepSeek disruption, the biggest threat would be Nvidia and also anybody that's related to this hardware play again, right? So what helped these companies go up would also cause the company to fall if DeepSeek succeeds. And other companies that come to mind will be TSMC, which makes a lot of chips for Nvidia, and a lot of demand is driving the manufacturing and take up the factory space, right, in TSMC. So if less people buy Nvidia chips, Nvidia order less to be made, and that's how it cascades down the entire semiconductor industry, right? So for the past few years, actually semiconductor industry has been down, except those that are involved in AI chips that have seen their business grew, and of course their share price grew as well. And TSMC at one point in time was also more than $1 trillion market cap. So it seems like this could be a potential challenger to the entire industry, right? The AI industry in the West. And if they pop that bubble, and which means billions of dollars can be lost in the market. And at the time of recording, there's already some movement in the market, right? We do see the Singapore market is trading when I did this video, and we saw the data center REIT like Keppel DC, Mapletree Industrial Trust drop 4%. And Nvidia in the overnight trading was down 5%. So it seems like the market is responding or reacting to this possibility. Of course, we won't know the full impact, and just that there is some potential risk that is being seen at this point in time. And it's not all bad news. I would think that cloud giants like Amazon, Microsoft, and Alphabet would be in a better position because they have been held hostage by Nvidia having to buy its expensive GPUs. Now they are have that potential possibility of reducing their operating expenses, their capital expenditure, because now if they adopt a DeepSeek model, it will lower the cost significantly. And it may also spur them to develop models that are cheaper to run, which are more sustainable, right? I'm not here to say that AI is gone. I think that It could be a case where the infrastructure was overbuilt for the past 1 or 2 years, right, when AI is very hot, and maybe the end user front has not caught up fast enough. And now, coupled with a cheaper way to operate, it may means that the infrastructure is really overbuilt. And there may be a slowdown that's required to wait for the demand at the end user to really catch up. Right, so that's my view. I do think that it's definitely more risk on Nvidia now than ever before, and while the cloud giants are actually in a better position. Okay, so time will tell, right? We'll see how it unfolds. Okay, we won't know the future for sure, but I hope now you have a better picture of what's going on in the industry. And give me a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.